Collective, let's clear some smoke. We're going to take a look at energy surrounding no contact. See what's going on, what the divine wants and needs you to know at this time regarding energy of no contact going on. Okay. May I have the best card for the main energy at the center of things? Well, we have two coming out. All right, and a few more cards for the energy surrounding this. All right, I do hope that all is well and that you are doing well. So let's see, at the center you have the main energy is an unwillingness to communicate will not make the situation better. And then I will have better boundaries. Okay, now surrounding it you have, do I deserve to be disrespected when I was trying to be nice? To emotionally unhealthy people does not make a healthy relationship. Critical, that critical voice in your head is not your true self. It's experiences of the past that haven't been released, You have control over today. And then eager, it will happen. You are aware it will be happening. These thoughts take you away from this moment that needs to be focused upon. This feels like energy of kind of like you keep running, the two of you who are engaged in this keep running away from having this disagreement, this argument, from really facing the facts. It's like it gets so close, you get close enough to be angry about it, to argue about it, but then when it comes time to start to put together the building blocks to resolve the situation, move things forward, everybody goes into this forced silence, or someone goes into no contact where there's no speaking, or I'm not going to talk to you until I feel like you know, you deserve an audience with me. Like it's an arrogance there. It's kind of trying to make the other person bow to the other person's will or bend to the other person's will. And it's not about negotiation, cooperation, or collaboration. In other words, to come together to figure out what WTF is really the issue, and then to agree to disagree respectfully with each other about that and just leave that out of the conversation altogether, or find a way through it and build a bridge to try to have peace over it, and try to figure out how you can add value to each other, because some things that you disagree about are really not necessarily going to affect the relationship as a whole. You just have different points of view, and it's like even friends having different political parties. I mean, in a well-rounded relationship, a healthy one, it really shouldn't affect, how you all deal with each other. Not in that way, because of the fact that it's about your politics. And at the end of the day, we're all Americans and want the same things. Home of the brave, land of the free, be financially stable and raise, and if you have children, raise a family, do what you got to do, and live life and die in peace. Live a good life and die in peace. Everybody wants that. So when you boil it all down and you focus on what's important, you can be like, okay, they can believe what they want to believe, but I know where they really stand, right? But, or follow whatever party they want to follow, but I know where their belief system really stands. Thank you. It's divine. But there's an unhealthy way of dealing with conflict between the both of you. One person who's more than likely the person who initiates the no contact, like real no contact. Like there's times when people pull away and don't have nothing to say for a minute. They're processing. But no contact is a manipulation tactic to try to get someone to either, again, bend to their will or bend the knee. And it's like, I got a trick knee, and it may be easy to put it on the ground, but it's kind of hard to get back up. So that's okay. I'm not going to do that. Or could be the energy of truly, I bow to no man. I negotiate with everybody, but I bow to nobody. So it's like a standoff in that situation. This energy of eager, it will happen and you are aware it will be happening. These thoughts take you away from this moment that needs to be focused on. You know that this person is just doing this as a way to try to get you focused on them and how to bring them back into the fold, which they're going to do anyway. Is again, it's a manipulation tactic. They're going to go away. They're going to disappear for a few weeks or a few days, however long it takes for them to feel like they're going to get the energy shifted towards them, focused on them, missing them, wanting them, needing them, concerned about them, worried about them, etc., etc. Because this dynamic could go on in any type of relationship. Um, but it's also the energy of the boy, the cried wolf, because they really don't care to resolve the situation. They just want power and control in the situation, hence the no contact. And you're being, there's an energy here, sorry, not you, but there's energy here of criticalness, of where you could quite frankly be beating yourself up about constantly having to deal with this, and why do you keep taking this person back or reinitiating. I mean, it could be a situation in terms of the relationship that you really don't have a choice. I mean, this is someone that's a vital person in your life. You can't just leave them on the wayside, just can't not communicate. For others, it's this for other situations, it's an undying loyalty and devotion to the situation and the person, and not being able to see your life or your lifestyle without this person being involved. So it's a very deep connection. In certain instances, it's very codependent too. But let's get into it. Deep breath, darling. Open mind, open heart. Let's see. Get ready to receive what the divine wants and needs you to know. Divine may have 10 best cards for the details regarding this energy. You're like, my life doesn't function well without you. And this may be the power that this person tries to wield, but in a very manipulative way, that causes more destruction than in anything else. Okay, they weaponize that energy, and it very well may be unintentional. Okay, it's just their way of trying to win. And I mean, but what are you winning? What is it worth it? Right? So the Lovers and the Hermit, you really need to fall back, baby, and really try to understand why it is that you feel that this relationship is so important to your life and your lifestyle at this time. That's what the divine is trying to pull you in to recognize during this portion, this particular portion of your journey with this person, and this particular round of no contact, because it's a constant thing. Anytime that you do something to just satisfy this person in any type of way, this is what they pull. Again, that energy early on of could be a couple of days, could be a couple of weeks. At best, it's been months with this person, or at worst, not at best. At worst, it's been months with this person. And in some type of way, they may pull away completely in terms of no contact, or they pull away emotionally, like they're emotionally distant. Even if you guys have to still deal with each other, be around each other, they're emotionally distant. They're short. They don't want to spend any extra time, and you have to constantly work at it, cajole them and sweet talk them, and what's going on with you, and show interest, and you just have to constantly try to push up on them to get any type of emotional response from them. And they may very well be completely over what occurred, but they enjoy the fact that you put that chase on and try to, that's what they feel this rush of power from. The Hermit energy is asking for, the divine is asking you please to go within and to refocus yourself on your energy and your light and what you're really bringing to the situation. And is this situation or this relationship, this connection, adding value to each other anymore? Because it needs to be mutually beneficial. And you spend a lot of time running in place trying to satisfy this person who is at times just unsatisfiable because they do not work on themselves. The Four of Wands in reverse and the Nine of Cups in reverse. You're impeding your happiness and holding yourself back from having a truly stable connection or relationship with someone who really deserves your time, your effort, and your energy. So it feels like it's kind of like the energy of one person works on themselves from time to time, like just works to be more and more self-aware and trying to be a better human being, better citizen, better co-worker, better colleague, better son, better daughter. Just, you gently and but consistently and with great commitment work on yourself to become a better human being. The other person, this energy of this no contact and pulling back, doesn't care to do that. They always try to they always try to cheat the deck, if you will. They try to turn the energy around, make it seem like it's them. And this is a learned behavior. This is what they learned in their house when they were being raised. This don't come from nowhere. This does not come from the air. This does not come from the sea. This comes from the house within you, and the walls within you live within, excuse me. And they've learned this dynamic of how to have a power struggle. More than likely it was infringed upon them, and this is what they know. Okay, again, when they're doing it, there is intentionality to it. They know that what's going to result. I'm the best. You're never going to da anything better than me. Blah 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 blah. And that's the grift. That's the grift and the shift, right? And for the average person, it's very easy for a person who's uninvolved and not working to be self-aware to fall prey and fall into that trap that they set. Get caught up in the snare all the time. Somebody getting caught up in this snare right now. Okay? Other than you and I sitting here talking about it. It's a common thing. So one thing is to do this. Pull back, take 3 steps back and understand this is nothing new. This is nothing special. This is nothing that this person is a genius at. They're not great. This is average shit. This is average attitude, average play. This is nothing spectacular. They're not a narcissist, or narcissists don't even put that type of title on them. You have to be a hell of a smart motherfucker to be a narcissist. I don't know why, but it's not simple. You have to be very intelligent and very psychologically aware to be a full-blown fucking narcissist. There are people that have narc tendencies and they're mild, but to be a full-blown narcissist, no. Don't give nobody that credit that don't deserve it. And that's not that it's a credit, but seriously, you got to study to be a narcissist. It's a process, okay? But a person that is self-centered and selfish, that's common. And that's what's happening here. The Ace of Wands is here of where the divine is telling you that a new path needs to be taken within yourself. You need to figure out what you want and what's best for you and not fall prey to the passions and the energies and the excitement, whatever they offer you. You have to start looking at with the down times. It's time to take a audit of the relationship, the connection, and really say, how often are we really at peace with each other? And how often are we at odds? And when we're at odds, who usually works to get things back into balance with this temperance energy out here? The Five of Cups is here, that energy of reflecting back. 10 of Wands, who's really carrying the load? Who's really doing all the work? Okay. And then the Death card in reverse is with this Four of Wands, clarifying is this unwillingness to change on your side as well, which is to realize that this person, while you love them and care for them, you're not in alignment with this person in terms of what you expect and what you give. You're not receiving that from this person. And so it's time to stand up for yourself and say, well, if you're not serving what I want, then it's time for me to find a different place to serve, to spend my time and to patronize. It's the time to look for a different place to work, different place to eat, different place to sleep, different place to whatever. Because whatever's happening here, you're not serving me well, right? You're not adding value to me, right? And then eventually you're going to turn it to resentment. You can only just keep pouring, water in a bucket with a hole in it before you just realize, well, damn, the bucket is a hole. You got to get rid of the bucket, okay? Because it's not able to serve you. Temperance being here is finding the middle ground, but it's really, I feel like the energy of the divine is saying to find the middle ground with yourself, to stand up for yourself and say it's just not good enough anymore. And it's not fair to look at this person and expect them to change. They're going to do what works for them. Even with what works for them does not work for you. It is your job, your responsibility, and your absolute honor to take care of yourself and say, enough is enough. I love you, but I love me more. That being said, sayonara, mother. Don't say that. I would say that, but don't say that. I mean, unless you want to say that, but don't say that. Leave them with a good taste in the mouth. Leave them with the sugar and the honey, not the bitter, the vinegar and the piss. Knight of Pentacles is here about it's going to be a long journey for you to deal with this because it's going to be a grieving process. But the divine is going to be with you, and along that path, the Knight of Pentacles is dutiful. You're going to learn a lot about yourself, and you're going to gather a lot of great things to yourself, and you're going to realize how much your life improves by releasing this person, by giving them the ultimate no contact freedom. Let's just be free of it all. Now, this may mean not necessarily like coming to this whole closure thing and we're no longer friends or whatever the case may be, but it's just kind of like the energy of leave them where they're at. Wherever you're at, you're obviously at peace there. So I'm going to leave you there and I'm going to go do some stuff for me. Okay. Now, if you want to know what's going on with me, you catch up with me. Because I keep running backwards, trying to figure out what's going on with you. And then I have to do double the time and try to double and make up the double time it and get back to where I really am supposed to be. So you catch up with me this time. Okay. All right. Let's see. Divine, may I have 4 cards for energy moving forward? Divine strategy, please. In the grieving process, it's going to be like it's good talk at first because give yourself grace. It's not going to be a perfect process. You're not going to just be able to just dump everything. You're going to have hard moments. You're going to miss the person. You're going to feel like you're being cruel. It's just too much. And this is the thing we don't talk about often, but taking care of yourself and setting up for yourself is hard. And it can be painful at times, and it's lonely, but that is also a part of being birthed into this world. It takes a lot of pain, a lot of effort for a child, for you to be born, for you to exist. And so this is another birth cycle for you to say that it's my personal life and I can choose whom I deal with. Okay. And with this 8 of Swords here, there's no need for you to be confused about it. Just take off the blindfold, free your mind, free yourself, and just make the proper decisions. Look at those swords and determine which ones are best for you and which ones aren't, and leave the ones that aren't where they're at. There doesn't need to be this big, huge thing about trying to find balance with the 2 of Pentacles going back and forth. Well, I don't want you to think this. I don't want you to think that. People are going to think what they want to think. You're going to be the hero and the villain at times in someone's story, and sometimes you're going to flat out be the villain. That's okay. That's life. It goes on. The best thing that you can do if you're the villain in someone's story is get out of their way. Let this be the last chapter and bring it to an end. 6 of Wands and the Fool card in reverse. It's going to be, the victory is assured, but it is going to take time because the Knight of Pentacles energy is here. There are going to be things that you need to unpack. But, I will say in the humanest way, most human way possible, is if you can unpack this situation with this person without making them the scum of the earth, please do so. Afford them grace as well, because they're only doing what they know to do, and they're and that's that. But again, you have the power, you have the control. The Fool card in reverse, again, you'll know when the time is there. The divine is going to lead and guide you with the Hermit energy, Temperance, Knight of Pentacles. The transformation is happening, but first it's happening inside, and then eventually it'll lead to changes in your environment, and you'll feel better, you'll be better, you'll think better, and you'll achieve more because the team, you're fine-tuning that energy and finding your frequency, people that are on your frequency, that ride with your vibe, and that are coming into alignment with where you want to find yourself to be. It's okay to outgrow people and outgrow situations, especially when they're immature with their communication, and you have to, again, chase them. Okay? Who are you, dog? The bounty hunter? Like, you ain't got time for that. Got time to be out here chasing these bail hoppers and everything. Because every time they get a little attitude, they finna run for the hills. So. But again, grace with the person as well. Like, I'm not going to just step on nobody's neck and just, everybody's going through their stuff. But it's important to remember we have one life to live. We got to be as gracious and graceful as we can be with it, with ourselves and with others. And sometimes the kindest and sweetest thing that you can do for someone is just to let them be. Okay? All right. So that is the session. I do hope it was of assistance to you. I do appreciate your most valuable time and attention. And do remember that back then is not now. Always be in harmony with your surroundings. Stay sucker free. Hope to see you again.